You know how last week I said I'd give $100 out to anybody who guessed the name of the film that we're going to be reviewing, right? Mm-hmm. And did anybody guess? I don't know.
Nobody watched it.
Yeah, so maybe one day when it blows up, people will guess. But
they'll guess because then they'll just okay, that thing came out after.
But even if they
whoever does it first, I guess.
Even if they had guessed, I would have said they were wrong because we watched 2 films and they didn't. They only guessed 1. Even if they saw the still.
No, okay. You want to make it or whatever.
I'm just saying, technically,
if they guess what because you just said in the video, guess what the frame is. Like, guess what the frame is from. You didn't say.
But if they would have just said Halloween, they would have been wrong. Because I'd be like, all right, which one?
No, they wouldn't. Because that's what the movie's called.
No, there's 3 different ones. You got to specify. There's the one the original, and then the 2007 one, and then this one.
But it's not called. But the 2007 one is not called Halloween 2007. It's just called Halloween.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So you got to specify.
So if they say that,
if they just said Halloween, they would be wrong.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
Because that's what the movie's called.
It's Halloween 2018.
That's not. They don't call it that. That's not in the title.
That's what it was called on Prime. So
it's Halloween and Halloween.
Nope, it was Halloween 2018.
The sequel to Halloween.
The Halloween is the sequel to Halloween.
It is. Devin? What are we talking about today?
We're talking about the holiday Halloween, not the movie. We're just talking about the holiday.
We're just talking about the general.
I got a bunch of facts because you told me to look up some facts on Halloween.
I didn't tell you to do a goddamn thing.
So that's what I did. No, I have text proof that you said look up facts about Halloween because we're not watching the movie.
That wasn't
talking
me.
About Halloween. So you want to hear my facts?
What are your holiday facts?
I don't have shit. I'm just bullshitting.
Fucking
hell.
No, this is the difference between you and me, because if I had said that, I would have committed to the bit and I would have just made this entire video Halloween facts. You fucked up.
I didn't think of the bit until as I was doing it. I was bullshitting on the spot.
You should have just made something up.
Halloween invented in 1847.
I don't know if that's right.
That's probably completely bullshit. You know what? I'll look it up. Just that one fact. Oh, I was basically dead on. It became a holiday in 1840s. It doesn't have a specific year, but I said 46.
Holy crap!
So
that's impressive.
I think we're extremely off topic. What did we watch this week? We watched
2 spooky movies.
2 newer.
Well, 1 spooky movie and 1 dumb movie.
Oh, controversy.
But that's not controversial. I think most people would agree with me.
But yeah, 2 newer movies because we did an old movie last week. So 2 new movies. This one is a really new. It came out literally 3 days ago.
Yeah, this weekend.
We watched Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills 2020.
That almost rhymes. Halloween 2018.
I think they did that on purpose. Let's talk about Halloween. Well, let's talk about maybe a little bit about the original, I guess, because it kind of is a sequel to it.
Sure.
I mean, I think we've talked about the original Halloween before, but it's a classic.
I think we have.
It's a classic. Me and you both love it. I think you love it. I like it.
I think it's great.
I like how Michael Myers just murders people. That's my
another John Carpenter film.
It is. He did the music, right?
Oh, I mean, he directed the fucking thing.
I know, but he did.
He did the music too.
Yeah. That music is iconic. Iconic?
It's so good.
I want to learn to play the piano just to play that. I'm not good with my fingers. I don't know if I could do it. Even if I wanted
Figure it out.
Wade's a great motivator. If you ever need motivation,
figure it out
to do something. Be like, hey, how do I defuse this bomb? Figure it out.
Well, if you're in that situation, that's your own fault because that's your job.
Also, Wade wouldn't be in that situation. He'd be gone before you even said a bomb. He'd be like,
if someone told me there was a bomb in this building and I was a bomb diffuser, I wouldn't even show up.
Be like, I thought there would be no bombs. I thought this would be an easy job.
Knowing me, they tell me like, oh, don't cut the red wire, and then just out of nerves, I'd accidentally cut it and blow everybody up.
So Halloween 2018, Wade. What was your initial thoughts?
Initially, I usually don't care about sequels to horror movies because they're usually dumb.
You don't like modern remakes. We know that for a fact. Wade,
and I also don't really like a lot of modern remakes, but I was pleasantly surprised with this movie.
Really? I thought for sure going into this, Wade, you would hate this movie.
It's not perfect. In fact, there's a lot wrong with it. But I think for what it is and what it's trying to do, I think it succeeds. It kind of reminds me of when I watched the sequel to Psycho, where I was like, okay, like, yeah, they're actually trying to do like a proper continuation. They're not just remaking the first movie again.
It feels like it actually has a story compared to other modern sequels or whatever, where they just throw some crap together and be like, all right, we're bringing back the old cast and it's going to be good, right? It's like, The thing I noticed is there's a lot more death in this than there are in the original, at least to my memory. I haven't seen the original in years, but I feel like there was a lot more people murdered.
Well, I think 5 people in the original die. I don't know. I didn't keep count in this one, but yeah, there's probably a little bit more. There's at least like 6.
I was gonna say, I feel like at least double-digit kills in this one.
Maybe.
Definitely double-digit in the second one.
Oh, the second one. The second one's like obnoxious.
But
like, it's like totally overboard.
We're focusing on the 2018 one right now, so we'll get to that later. But Jamie Lee Curtis, that's her name, right? Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
That's what I said.
It sounded like you said Jimmy.
Jimmy, yes, Jamie Lee Curtis. She's back. I don't know the cop, but he's back. I don't know his name.
He's not. He was only in this one movie.
What do you mean?
He wasn't. What do you mean he's back? He hasn't been in another movie.
I thought there was I thought that was the same cop. Wasn't there a cop in the first one?
There was a cop in the first one. That's a different guy.
It was a different guy? Yeah. Oh, I thought it was the same guy. That guy looked familiar. Has he played a cop in something else?
He's been in other stuff. He's a known actor.
I thought I'm just losing my mind. Is it the same character at least?
No, it's a different character.
It's a different character.
I need to go
rewatch the first one because I thought it was the same character.
Nope. The doctor in this one also isn't the doctor from the original, by the way.
I figured that. I figured that. By the way,
just making sure.
I like the opening of this movie where it's like the two reporters or whatever showing up at the prison.
The opening is so good.
Yeah.
It's so weird and like it doesn't make any sense, but it works.
And I know like the whole premise, like, oh, Michael Myers gets like his powers or he gets like stronger with his mask or whatever. And I like how when they like pull it out, everybody's like freaking out and everything.
Everybody just starts freaking out and yelling, and then like the alarms start going off. Like, holy shit, this is a big deal. And then the dude's like, "Here's your mask," and then it just cuts like immediately. It's Halloween. It's like, fuck, man. That's how you start a movie.
And they play the music, and it's
they have this dope remix of the original theme by John Carpenter. And it's like, fuck.
I loved it.
That gets you hyped.
It kind of like I don't know. Do you think they actually have that like square thing for like psychopaths like in real prisons? I mean,
I don't think. Why would they just have? Let's put them in these like checker squares and just have them sit there all day. Like that's a weird thing.
I don't think that's where they sit like when they're in prison. I think that's like how they like, all right, let's go get some sun. Let's go outside and get some sun so you don't die.
A prison for sure wouldn't do that. I don't think a mental institution would do that either.
Wait, is it a mental institution or is it a prison?
I think it's a mental institution.
That makes more sense because
they look like mental patients.
Plus, they said a lot of the people there have like minor offensive. So why is he there?
Yeah,
I feel like he should. I feel like, for one, he probably should have gotten the chair in the 70s, and then in the modern day, he should have got lethal injection. Maybe
in modern day, sure. I think the 70s might have for 5 people, they would have just been like, no, he's crazy. Let's put him in a fucking thing. They wouldn't have killed him.
I guess if you plead he's mentally deranged, they probably wouldn't execute him for that.
I want to see that movie. I want to see Michael Myers in court. Like, what does he do? Does he just like sit there and just like stare at the judge?
Yeah, he doesn't do anything.
I want to see that.
And then they put the mask on him. He just sits there and just stares.
He does that thing. He does that thing he does where he's on his back and he just rises up.
Yeah. How does he do that? Has he got crazy good abs?
I don't know.
I think he's got crazy good abs. That's what I like.
He's got some amazing strength for a man who's 61. However old he's supposed to be in this.
Is he that? I thought he was in his 70s at this point.
I mean, either way, he's old.
I like to think it's the same dude that played Michael Myers back then, but I know it's definitely not.
Well, the original Michael Myers does make a cameo in the movie.
Oh, does
as
he?
Michael Myers? Yeah, he wears the suit. I don't know like where exactly, but he does wear the mask. Yeah,
oh, that's cool. I do like how this movie just kind of like it. Like as soon as it gets going, like it goes. Like as soon as
definitely
it does a little bit of setup, like with like we're reintroduced to the daughter. But I guess because she was like not reintroduced, she was like a baby in the original one, right?
You're talking about Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter?
Yeah, she was a baby.
She wasn't in the original because Jamie Lee Curtis was 17 in the original.
No, isn't there like there's a baby in there, isn't there?
There's kids that they're watching, but they're not related.
I'm losing my mind. I can't think of that movie at all.
What the fuck are you thinking of?
I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of a sequel. Is there a baby in a sequel one?
Yeah, there's a couple babies and a couple sequels.
There's just babies everywhere.
There's babies everywhere.
Well, I know in one of the sequels she has a son, but like since that doesn't exist in this universe, they're like, yeah. Anyways, we got the mom played by I don't know her name, but she's an
Judy Greer. Judy Greer is the female equivalent to Sam Jackson. She's in like a million things a year. I like her. She's a good actress, but she needs to slow down.
She is in a lot of stuff. She is.
She's in a million things.
I don't know the granddaughter. I don't think I've ever seen her.
She's kind of a newer, like up and comer. Like she's been in a couple things, but she's not like super well known. This is like her biggest thing she's done.
And then we got the dad. I don't know the dad. Never seen the dad before.
The dad was on an episode of Seinfeld.
Was he? How do you know that?
Because I watched a review and somebody brought it up.
I don't remember that at all. But
he was like a minor character in one of the Seinfeld episodes.
Well, that's cool. And then we got the two guy friends with the granddaughter. I don't know.
Yeah, her boyfriend and then the fat guy or whatever.
He reminds me of like every like weird friend that in every movie, just like he's a stereotype. Let's just say that he's like
that's not how friends act. But
are they friends or like I don't know? Are the two guys?
They didn't really establish that.
Like I don't know.
It seemed like he wasn't because when we came up to him and started like talking to him, it seemed like that guy was really annoyed. Yeah,
so like I don't think the two guys are friends. I think they were friends with her, and they were kind of just mutually friends from her.
I'm glad all of that was established in this movie.
I don't know. He doesn't live very long anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Spoilers.
This is a spoiler review. All right, spoilers.
Sure. The movie's been out for 4 years.
Yes. Did we ever? For one, I like Jamie Lee Curtis's character arc of just becoming like a crazy like nutcase of like I'm a survivalist. I'm gonna make this bunker and I'm gonna survive, which like it makes sense when you know like who Michael Myers is, but when you look at it from like somebody in the universe who's like Michael Myers is just a guy, and then you're just like
I like how they even like touch on that where he's just some dude in a mask who like killed a couple people in the 70s. Like chill, all right, he's not coming for you. He's not gonna break out of the asylum. Like chill. And she's like, no, fuck you, he's coming.
Like we as the audience, we understand. Like, yeah, you need to prep, you need to be ready. But like somebody in the universe, they're just like, this lady's nuts. Like she's.
Well, I mean, even if he wasn't, like, even if he didn't break out or whatever, it's like you understand like why she is doing that.
Yeah. Still, I would think after 50 years, 40 years. If it happened in the 70s, that's 50.
Well, I mean, the whole marketing around the movie was that it was 40 years later.
Whatever. It's almost 50. It's 45.
It was like the late 70s.
I'll meet you in the middle. It's 45.
45.
45. I think that you'd be over it by now. Be like, all right, like he's in prison.
I don't know. I don't think that's something that, like, especially when you're 16, 17, you saw a dude like murder a bunch of people
I'm
and
not
you
saying
stab
you
him in the
won't be
face and you
scarred
just
for
see him
life.
get shot 6 times and he just disappears. That's gonna fuck you up.
I'm not saying that you won't be scarred for life. I'm just saying I think you'd be like, okay, maybe I should like tone it down just a little bit.
Well, I mean, maybe when she's 80 and she's like, yeah, that fuck's probably dead. Like, yeah, I should probably just stop now.
Yeah. But yeah, we apparently like nobody likes Jamie Lee Curtis in this universe, or it's like,
No.
oh, she's a crazy nutbag that lives in the woods or whatever. Even her own daughter doesn't like her. The granddaughter does for some reason.
Sort of.
Why.
It seemed like they were a little bit more estranged. Like they didn't really know each other very well.
Yeah, but like what made me think that they kind of liked each other was like the school thing where like she gave her all that money that the reporters gave her for information. I was like, oh, did they like meet up and talk about stuff sometimes without the mom knowing? I don't know.
It's possible.
I don't know about all that. But and then like, what was Jamie Lee Curtis's plan when they started to move Michael Myers from one facility to the other or whatever? And she was in the car, like watching the bus. Like, was she just gonna like patrol it the whole time? Or,
I think
like,
I don't know. I think she was just watching it just to make sure that he's actually going to that fucking prison.
I guess I
want to see like where are they taking him? Like fuck it.
I don't know. I thought like at first I was like, is she there to like kill him? Like she's like, I'm gonna take him out.
She might have. It might have been that too, and she just didn't have like the guts to do it. It could have been a multitude of things.
I don't know. But I like that once the bus crashes and it gets going. I like it. Like it goes after that.
That seems dark.
It is because that poor little kid and his dad.
That kid who has the voice of like a 50-year-old chain smoker for some reason.
By the way, I don't. His voice doesn't remind me of it, but his face. He reminds me of that kid from Shark Boy and Lava Girl, the evil kid. That's what his face looks like to me. I don't know the kid. I don't know
Linus from Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yes, that's it. That's what I was like.
I could see that.
I was like, is this like his son? I don't know how old that guy is.
I can see that. That kid's old enough to have a kid. It could be that kid.
Like he looks dead up like Linus.
I did not think of that, but that's funny because it's
I swear. That's all I could think about when I first saw him. I was like, oh my god, it's Linus.
That's very accurate.
Anyways, we don't know what happened to the dad.
Dad's probably dead.
I mean, maybe he chickened out and ran into the woods. I don't know.
Fuck that. He saw Michael's. Fuck this, and then just left.
He's like, fuck
left
my
his fucking
kid. I'm gone. I'm out of here. But yeah, and then not even Michael Myers, some just random crazy dude just strangles the kid. Right?
No, that was Michael Myers.
Wasn't Michael Myers? I thought
that was Michael Myers in the car.
I thought it was just one of the random strange.
That would be very odd if they had it. Oh no, that wasn't Michael. No, that was
some random guy. Did they ever say how the bus crashed? I may have missed that.
They don't say it. I think it's very much alluded to that the doctor had something to do with it.
I feel like it was because the doctor wasn't in on Michael's plan, but he was up to something.
Kind of. He wanted Michael to kind of, because he's the one who facilitated him and Jamie coming together again. So I think he wanted to see like what would happen, like what is Michael's motive, like what. If we do pin these two together again, like, are they connected? Like, does he care? Does he not? Is he just killing motherfuckers? And it turns out he's kind of just killing motherfuckers.
Yeah, he doesn't care about Jamie Lee Curtis.
He does,
at all.
And that's I love that. I know some people find that annoying, but I love that he's just killing.
He's just killing.
Like,
he's just a
what
boy.
He does.
He is a boy who wants to go home. That's all he is.
And look at himself.
Yeah, look at himself.
That's his whole goal. Everybody keeps getting in his way.
Don't let a child get in the way, or don't let when you're a child, don't let your dreams be stomped by the adults, man. Just murder them. Get them out of here.
Just murder until you get what you want.
Yeah. So I think he murders the kid first. Maybe he probably murdered the cops on the bus first, and then murders the kid. Yeah. And then what happens after that though? Like he goes somewhere.
He goes back in the Haddon.
Oh, yeah.
He goes to the podcast. Podcast.
He goes to get his mask because he knows where his mask is.
Yeah.
I don't know how he knew where they were, but he He had a sense for where his mask was, I guess.
I
Followed
don't
him
know.
from where? Like where?
I don't know. He probably was just walking around and saw one of them. Went, oh shit!
There's my
And then
mask.
I'm
What a
kill him.
coincidence. Let me murder.
Well,
this.
to be fair, he was following them because there was a shot, I think, sometime after that where he saw them at the graveyard.
Oh, was that it?
And he was like off like in the spooky tree, so he was following them for a bit.
Oh, was he in the background and I just didn't notice?
They cut to a shot of him, Devin.
Oh, I thought
He's
that like
in
he
the
was
white.
like. I thought he was in the background somewhere, and I just
No,
didn't
they
notice.
cut to a shot. They make it a point to go, oh hey, he's staring at him.
I don't think I noticed.
Did you watch
that.
this fucking movie?
I did. I don't think I noticed that part though. Maybe I blinked and I missed it.
You might have.
I don't know. I thought it was because I thought there would be more of like the original where he's like in the background and you just don't.
There is one scene that is like that. Like right before they like go like everything happens with the mechanics and stuff. There is a shot like off in the distance where you can see like an arm like hitting somebody, and it's Michael killing the mechanic to get his suit, and it's like really off like in the distance, and like you would totally miss it if you weren't paying attention for it. But it was
I totally missed it because I didn't. I was trying to look for it in some scenes. I was like, like this seems like a scene where he might be in the background somewhere, but nope. But yeah, he brutally murders that one guy, the guy podcast person. Like he just beating his head against the concrete wall. And he doesn't even really die. He's like still kind of alive at the end.
He's kind of he's dying.
He's dying, yeah. I mean, he's dead after a couple minutes, but like he's like brain dead, like just watching his wife or his girlfriend or buddy, whoever it is, get their freaking neck snapped or whatever happens to her. But yeah, Michael Myers has no remorse for women or children or men. He may have remorse for children. That may be a thing.
He kills a kid. I don't think he gives a fuck.
I mean, he did kill at least one kid in the second one. I don't know about the first, the 2018 one. I don't remember.
We just talked about him killing a kid.
Oh yeah, that's right. He killed the 10-year-old kid. But he sounded like a chain smoker. He may have thought he was an adult.
This kid's got Benjamin Button disease.
This is just a young-looking old man. Kid. It's a young-looking old
Probably
man.
He could have thought that.
It's fair. It's fair. Look, Wade's got the spooky.
Got the spooky because it's getting dark out.
Spooky lighting going.
Got the spookiness.
If Michael Myers shows up behind you in this video,
hey, he can join. He could have a lot of insight on the video.
You could interview him. Be like, hey,
I would love that. Would be the easiest interview ever because I just asked him stuff and he'd never answer.
He'd just look at you.
Yeah,
and he'd just wait until the end of the interview and then he'd murder you on camera.
He could try.
What? You're just not gonna let him murder you? He's like a demon. He's like
he walks like 2 miles an hour.
He's possessed by the devil.
We don't know.
Is he? What is his thing? I don't know if I've ever seen anybody talk about it.
Nobody knows. I mean, in the other Halloween sequels, they allude to the fact that he is like he's a part of this like satanic cult and he's like possessed and all this stuff, but they don't go into any of that shit here. He's just a guy.
He's just a guy who's can take a crowbar to the face. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because he did. That one guy smacked him with a crowbar.
He did. Yeah. And
it didn't faze him. He was like, oh, nope, you're just getting extra murdered now.
Nope.
Burrito. Okay, I think I thought this was what it was, but I think they did also explain it in the second one, not in this one. But when he goes to the houses afterwards, those were houses on his street, right? Or like that he knew around where he lived.
Are you talking about like when he goes into the town and starts murdering people?
Yeah, when he goes into the town and it's like Halloween and he's just walking into random.
Yeah, that was in Haddonfield. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the houses that he knew of, or like his childhood.
They were kind of around. They might not have been like right next to him, but they were there. Yeah.
Also, that's a fun little oneer that they did. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, that was really fun. I did.
That was a fun oneer. Yep. Probably a lot of people didn't even notice it was a oneer, but it was a fun little oneer.
I don't know. I enjoyed it.
I did too. And he murders a bunch of people on that street, and then I think he just cause I don't know why he murdered those people. I don't.
And real quick, there's a fun little Easter egg that does tie into the sequel. Remember, like right after, I think it's right after Michael kills the lady with the hammer and he exchanges it for the knife and then like comes back out. Remember when he's just like looking at that couple and they're like leaving their house and they're like dressed as doctors or whatever?
Yeah.
They come back in the sequel.
Yeah, I realized that they're like the beginning
That's them.
characters.
I was like, that's fun. That's a fun little connective thing.
Continuity connection
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, I like that. I don't know why he's just staring at him. Like, does he know he's like? I know, but like, does he know he's like, I'm gonna get you later type thing? Like, I'll get you.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how his mind works. Maybe.
But yeah, after he murders those people, I think is when he goes. I could be missing something in between these points, but I think that's when he goes to the babysitter's house, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, or whatever. We don't need to talk about the dance. Nobody cares about what happens at the dance.
No, that whole subplot for one went nowhere, and also I find it weird that they had Lori, her daughter, and her granddaughter because her granddaughter didn't really do anything.
Yeah, it seemed like she's
just there.
Yeah, it seemed like she was kind of the main character at the beginning, and then she just doesn't do anything at the end. So it's like, okay, was she the main character? Who was? I think Michael was probably the main character.
Michael and Lori were the main characters.
But Lori's barely in the beginning. I mean, she's in towards the end a lot, but
doesn't matter. It's about her.
Fair enough. Wait, no, he doesn't go to the babysitter first. He kills the nerd friend first. He has to, right?
No, that's after.
Is that after?
Mm-hmm.
So why is he in that one house then to kill the babysitter person?
He's just in the. He's Michael Myers. He's just killing people. He doesn't have a reason to do anything.
I don't recognize that house. Is that just one of the houses that was nearby again?
That was there, I guess. Yeah.
Oh.
He just went in and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna spook you."
And I thought that kid was gonna be important, but that kid was not important.
That kid was very funny, by the way.
yeah. He was pretty good. He was pretty good.
Very funny. And he's the smartest character in any horror film ever.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going up there. Send Dave.
Yeah, he runs down the steps, and Dave's like, "Hey, what's going on?" He's like, "You're gonna fucking die. You better run." Then he just bolts out of the house.
Yeah, he's
like, fucking hey, kudos to that kid.
Also, did he run past Michael Myers to get down the stairs? Because he said Michael Myers was in the doorway.
No, so because he was in the closet. And then he like attacked the babysitter. Then he bolted out of the door. No, so he was already ahead.
No, when he initially.
Initially.
Yeah, because he said that he said Michael Myers was standing in the doorway.
he might have saw something like in the closet, and then was just like, "Hey, there's something up there. I ain't fucking with it."
I thought he saw something outside the room, not in the closet.
He just said the doorway. I mean. Closet
I thought
doorway.
That when he ran out of the room, Michael Myers went into the
That would be really odd.
I'm just saying, how'd he get into the bedroom without anybody noticing? That's all I'm saying.
I don't know.
Has he got teleportation powers?
He's
now?
Michael Myers.
He might actually can teleport. That might be a thing. Because he just shows up places he needs to be.
It's canon that Jason can teleport. So
is it?
The fuck not?
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that canon? I did not know that.
Technically it's canon, but
technically it's canon
because the video game, in the video game when you play as Jason, you can teleport.
I'm glad you know these facts about Jason.
I know these useless facts.
Yeah, I thought the babysitter was gonna live, but no, the babysitter didn't live, unfortunately, and neither did Dave, because fuck Dave.
Yeah.
He knocked over that motorcycle or whatever. He doesn't seem like a bad guy, but he might be a bad guy.
No, he doesn't. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, really.
At first I thought he was gonna live because he was like, when he heard the screaming, he was like, "Fuck this!" And I thought he was gonna run away, but he turned around and grabbed a knife instead. And I was like, "Oh, now you're dead."
What did he think he was gonna do with that knife?
Well, I mean, if you think it's just a regular person up there, like
your girlfriend's screaming bloody murder. And a fucking that little black kid just ran up and he goes, "Don't go up there. You're gonna die."
Kids exaggerate.
Like, I would listen to that kid.
Kids exaggerate. They'd be like, "I saw the biggest bug ever," and it's like it's like that big.
No, he should have came down and went, "Look, it's fucking Michael Myers."
That kid don't know that.
Like I love Austin Powers. I'm gonna go meet him.
That kid does not know who Michael Myers is. No way.
The rest of the town seems to know who Michael
But
Myers is.
if you're a parent, you're not gonna be like, look, all right, you're 7 now. You gotta learn this.
You hear some spooky shit
on the street 40 years ago. There was a guy. He wore a mask. He murdered some people. His name was Michael Myers.
I guess.
Let's talk about the town war. Yeah, that kid doesn't know unless he watches the news, maybe, and they're like been talking about Michael Myers. I don't know. But if I was a little kid, I wouldn't recognize a murderer. Like, oh look, it's Jeffrey Dahmer. I wouldn't know. I was a guy.
I mean, I would hope you wouldn't know because that'd be very concerning.
If I knew who Jeffrey Dahmer was,
everyone would be like, "Oh, hey, look, it's Jeffrey Dahmer."
Hey, it's Jeffrey.
I didn't know that.
It's Jeffrey. And like he hasn't been caught yet, obviously, so people don't know he's a murderer. So
how do you know him then?
He's my friend Dahmer.
He's just some guy then.
I'm quoting that movie that was called that. I didn't watch that movie.
Yeah, that movie that everyone talked about it that nobody watched.
I didn't watch it. Did you watch it?
No, of course not.
I'm telling you right now, this is the perfect setup for a creepy face to be behind you, and I would never know because it's like pitch black.
Put in a creepy face behind me.
Pitch black behind you. I cannot.
I might in post put in like a little Michael Myers face.
Like he just like he
as the video goes on, like it progressively just gets brighter.
He leans in, he like leans out, like
Hey, maybe I could do that.
Creepy. You gotta cut it. You gotta cut out this part of you saying in post.
Hey, I'll do
that. Anyways, so we murdered the babysitter. We murdered Dave. Dave got the what's it called? The iconic kill because he got stabbed through into the wall and he was like hanging from the knife. He got the iconic. We didn't get to see it, but we saw the aftermath.
I think it totally works a lot better that we didn't see it because the cop shows up and you just see him hanging from the wall and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, he had to have lifted his body up and then stabbed him. Like that's extra work. Did. Michael went through extra work for that murder. Yeah, he could have just stabbed, but no, he lifted.
No, listen, Michael is an artist. All right.
I knew he was in the second one when he put like 80 knives in that guy's back for no fucking reason. That I was like, he's.
That was a little excessive and unnecessary.
I knew he was an artist at that. I think he was.
That
angry.
Was. I don't know why he did that.
I think he was angry. Anyway,
because that's just a waste at that point.
Going back to the 2018 murderer. So he's on the run again. I don't know where he's going in the first one. I guess he's going home again. Like he's trying to go home.
That's probably where he's trying to go.
But he meets the granddaughter, which I don't think he should know who the granddaughter is. Maybe he would. I don't.
He doesn't know any of these people. He doesn't know.
Yeah, I know, but like, do you think the doctor would tell him, be like, hey, the person that you're like connected to?
I think he mentioned something about that in like when she was in the car with him. I think he kind of like mentioned that like, hey, your grandmother and Michael have like a thing.
Yeah.
But before that, I don't think she would have like either of them would have known.
But either way, he doesn't care anyways.
He doesn't give a shit. He's just like, all right.
And he stabs poor old. I don't know if he stabs him. No, he did stab him. The nerd kid. He stabbed him as he was climbing the fence.
Yeah, he stabbed him on the fence. That kid kind of deserved it though.
He did. He was kind of like, I thought he was a good guy, and then he turned out to be kind of a douche. So
he kind of deserved it.
And then he got impaled like through his lip or something on the fence.
Yeah,
I don't know how that works. I don't know how your lip is strong enough.
Again, to hold your body. Michael Myers is an artist. All right.
How's your lip strong enough to hold your body weight? I feel like it would rip. Unless did it go through his chin?
It might have went through his chin.
Yeah, maybe
like,
it went through.
Could have went through his chin and like out of his mouth or something.
Yeah, maybe. It looked.
We didn't really see it. They kind of obscured it. So
yeah, it may have went through his chin. Anyways, yeah. The one chick, by the way, she like heard him screaming bloody murder, and she was like, "Ow!" Like, just shut up, nerd guy. Like, she didn't even go. I mean, she eventually went back, but like it took her 5 minutes. And by that time, Michael Myers wasn't gone, but he was around.
I like that shot of Michael though, right before he kills that kid though, when it like the lights come on and off,
Yeah, he's.
And he's
I like to
just like
imagine
right in
he's
front of him.
I like to imagine he's like running in the dark while like the light went off to get over to where he needs to spook him.
That's probably what happened. He
How did the
runs
motion
when
sensor
nobody
not
sees
go
him.
off?
I don't know. I mean, it did come back on, so it went off a
Yeah,
little
but
bit.
after he was in position, unless that
Michael a
maybe
ghost?
that's a weird. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe that's a weird like thing. Like, oh, he's not real. Like he doesn't interact with the environment.
He's not. I think he's pretty real.
I mean, he's real, but he's like a ghost type thing, like or a
Maybe.
demon or something.
I don't know.
I like to think that he's a demon.
I hope they
possessed
don't
by
answer
it.
that. I hope in the next one they just don't say.
I hope they don't
because
either.
I don't
But
want to know.
in my brain, I think that he's a demon. That's what I think. I'm like he's possessed by a demon, or like the devil. He is the devil. Maybe he's the devil himself.
Could be.
I don't know. Maybe he's just a lunatic. That's also
Maybe he's
possible.
just some guy because that's what he was originally.
I think he might be just a lunatic. I don't know. And the mask just gives him confidence or something. He's just afraid that he's ugly. He's like SpongeBob with the paper bag or Patcher, whichever one it was.
Well, I mean, when he was in the original, it's established that when he was a kid, he was wearing a mask when he made his first kill. So I think that's just he wears a mask. That's what makes him kind of feel normal.
Yeah, I understand that, but I also think he thinks he's ugly, so he wears the mask.
I mean, he is. He got an eye stabbed out.
Yeah. They don't show his face at all.
They'll show like the side of him a little bit, and like
I don't know if they're
which is odd.
I don't know if they're
because
saving
we
that.
saw his fucking face in the original.
Yeah, I don't know if they're saving that for the third one. Maybe.
Why would
maybe
that be a deal, though? Like
I don't know.
A guy. Does he have like horns or something?
Maybe. I mean, we did see he is kind of like burned in the second one from the place burning down or whatever. But
okay.
I don't know. Maybe he's got a weird face.
He might. But it's not going to be as creepy as that fucking mask.
That's true. That mask will haunt people's nightmares if they saw him not running because he doesn't run, walking briskly towards them.
I mean, every time I see William Shatner, I'm terrified.
William Shatner went to space, so
yeah. So we can now say that Michael Myers has been to space.
That's true. You can say that. He's a 9-year-old man. Went to space. Yep. Anyways, what happens after we kill the nerd guy? I don't even remember.
I think that's when the doctor kind of comes into the...
Oh, yeah, because she runs into the Popo guy. And he has the doctor with him. That's right.
Yeah. And I like how they see Michael and he's just like, look, I'm over this shit. And he just tries to run him over.
He does run him over. He straight up. I thought at first that wasn't Michael Myers. I was like, that's a guy dressed up as Michael. That's what I thought it was. I was like,
that happens in the original Halloween too, where there's just some kid just dressed as Michael Myers and they shoot him to death.
I was like, for sure that ain't him. Like, there's no way he just ran over Michael. And I was like, no, he did. He ran over Michael Myers. And I was like, okay. Yeah. I was kind of surprised when they stabbed that cop guy. I was like, oh dang, that wasn't. I thought he was dead, but it turns out
stabbed in the neck.
They faked it.
He probably was like originally supposed to be dead, but then they were like, people kind of like this character. Let's bring him back.
I don't know.
Because he looked pretty dead. He was motionless on the ground, bleeding out. He was dead.
Out of his neck, of all places. Like, he didn't get stabbed in the shoulder or something. He got stabbed in the neck.
Yeah, like, that looked pretty bad.
And I thought it was a decent twist with the cop, or not the cop, the doctor being like,
I thought it was okay. I mean, the whole doctor's purpose in the movie is just to get Michael Myers back to Laurie. So, like, he doesn't really serve much else of a purpose. And it's a little odd that, like, all of a sudden he's just like a murderer, and it's like, all right.
But I didn't see it coming, so like, I guess it's a decent twist. I didn't see it at all.
It was a little dumb when he put on Michael's mask and like popped up.
I don't know. I don't know what that was about because he immediately took it off. I was like, what?
Yeah, that was a little stupid.
What are we doing here? What was that? And then then he just takes her to Laurie because he's like, oh, we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, he's just. I just want to see what happens.
I want to document it, and then he doesn't even make it. He dies. Like,
yeah, because Michael wakes up.
Yeah, Michael wakes up.
Michael fucks him up
and just freaking kicks in the back of the police van thing.
Yeah,
I'm like, Jesus, what's this man's squat? What's his squat weight?
I have no idea. I don't know what he's doing in that insane asylum. He's just squatting every day. for 40 years.
For
Because he also, like, immediately after that, because the doctor's like lying on the ground, he's like, say something, but and then he just turns his face into pudding.
Yeah, dude, one stomp
like,
and
I
his head is
I
gone.
could step on somebody's fucking head. It would not look like that. Like, this motherfucker. He's just like, what is happening?
He squats 700 pounds, man. That's what it is. He squats 700.
Yeah, Michael Myers must weigh like 800 pounds.
Maybe it's the playing off the demon thing. He's just stronger.
I don't know.
The most gruesome death, though, is off screen, and it's right at this part where the other two cops, like, they drive up.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Oh, dude.
Dude, that death. That death.
For one of I hate that one scene with the cops where they're like talking about sandwiches. I was like, this is dumb. But what I loved is what happens to them, because they pull up into, I think at that point they're at Laurie's house. He drives the car into Laurie's house, and the dad comes out because he's staying there, and he turned one of the cops' heads into a jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
I don't know, how did you do this?
I was gonna say, I don't know how that works.
That is like artistry. Like, that takes talent. All right.
He had to have thought of that in jail. Like, I'm gonna do this to somebody. I don't know who.
I gotta do this at some point.
I don't know when the opportunity will arise, but I'm gonna do this. Like,
I'm gonna do it at some point in my life.
But yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh my god! Like, he just
that was unnerving.
Like, did he rip his eyeballs out to do that? Like, what did he do?
Probably. Well, he would have had to hollow the whole thing out.
Yeah. Like, his skull can't be in there.
No.
It's like it would block the... I don't know. It's just...
That was terrifying.
Skinhead? I don't know.
Possibly.
The other cop, he got off easy. Like, he just had, like, a stab to the neck or something. But
it seems a little unfair.
I wonder if he, like, cut his head off or if he, like, ripped it off. I don't know what he did.
I mean, if he had that kitchen knife, that would probably take hours. So he probably
just
yanked it off with his old man strength.
Also, what is up with people just going on their own to places when they know like, what the fuck is?
Yeah,
like, what is that?
I don't know. That's the horror movie thing.
Like when the dad goes outside by himself and he doesn't tell anybody he's going outside. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, well, he was a dumb character anyway. He was annoying.
He was, but I'm like, as soon as he walked outside, I'm like, you're dead. Like, you're
but
dead.
Why would he assume? For one, he goes, "Hey, officers, like, is everything good?" And then there's no response. I would have went, "Oh shit, something's wrong," and I would have went back in that house.
Right.
I wouldn't have walked up to the thing and just been like, "Oh, hey, what's going on? Oh, there's a jack-o'-lantern head in there."
And then even better. So, like, he doesn't get stabbed or whatever. He gets, like, he's getting choked out, isn't he? Right? He gets, like, a rope. And he's got a pistol. And he shoots it in the air instead of pointing it at the guy behind him who's choking him out and trying to shoot him. Like, I'm just saying.
He's dumb. Like, he deserved it.
Yeah, he deserved to die. And then, like, they make a big deal about it in the second one. Like, oh, he's dead. And it's like, who cares? I want to know how long it took for Laurie to make that thing underneath her cabinet, because that's...
Probably took a few years.
Like, did she hire somebody to do that, you think? Like, she was like, hey, come build this, like, creepy basement.
She YouTubed it and just figured it out.
Because, for one, that thing is strong enough that Michael Myers can't squat it because he's trying to lift it. But he can squat. And
well, to be fair, he does break the fucking thing and just
he does eventually
over.
But so, he kicked through the back of a police car in one kick. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true.
That thing's got to be pretty sturdy in terms of building.
It's industrial grade.
It's yeah. And then I like how Laurie, she has a plan through this whole thing. She's like, all right, I'm gonna clear every room. I'm gonna put down the little jail bar things or whatever for every room I clear. And of course, at first I was like, oh, she is really smart. She doesn't have a lot of furniture in any of these rooms. And then the last room, I'm like, you have every piece of furniture imaginable you can hide behind in here. Of course, the last room. Also, who was the guy in the closet? Was that
was the dad? Yeah.
Okay, I didn't recognize him. I was like, there's just a guy in the closet. Who's this guy?
No, that would be odd.
Like I didn't see his face. That
He was wearing the same thing that the dad was. He had that same like, red flannel.
That makes
his face was like all fucked up. I think Michael like, punched his face in or something.
I was gonna say I couldn't recognize who it was. I was like, why is there just a random dead body in here? Like, who is this guy? Anyways, and then and Michael's just hiding behind a fucking mannequin. Also, he got his hand shot off. I forgot about that by the shotgun.
Yeah, he busted the window, and she's just shooting at him. And it's terrifying that Michael Myers, he's getting shot at. He's getting like whatever. Doesn't say a word.
No.
He doesn't scream when that happens. He's just like, okay, that happened.
I think he made a little grunt when it happened. He was like, or something like that. And that was it. And I was like, dang. Like,
maybe. But still, that's not a normal... Anybody else would have been like, all right, I'm done. I just lost 4 fingers.
Yeah, it's like, no,
I'm out of here. It's not worth it.
That's it for me. I'm done. I mean,
theoretically, could you blow off Michael Myers' head?
His head?
Yeah.
With a shotgun?
Like, would he die?
I don't know. He gets shot in the face later on in this movie. He doesn't die, so I don't know. I mean, to be fair, they shot him like in the cheek.
I mean, honestly, if you just like get rid of his limbs, you'll be fine. If he's just a body with a head, like what else can he do?
I'm gonna talk about that later, after. But like whenever they finally get him into the basement or whatever. Or like, well, for one, I did like the part with Judy Greer where she's like crying, like saying she couldn't do it, and then Michael Myers like steps.
That was really good, yeah.
That was
very good.
Gotcha, bitch! Boom! I was like, oh, yeah.
I think the literal line was "Gotcha, bitch," and then she shoots him. Like I think it was like that spot on, and that was a great moment.
It was because I thought for sure I was like, are they really doing this? Like she's been training her whole life and she can't fucking do this, and then they didn't. I was like, yes. But she still didn't shoot him in the fucking head. Shot him in the cheek. I'm like,
no, of course not, because we gotta have more movies.
We're gonna have 2 more movies, so
yeah.
I thought it would have been fun to have somebody else just take up the mantle of Michael Myers. I thought that's what they were
kind of neat. That would be kind of interesting.
I thought that's what they were gonna do, and I'm gonna talk about that once we get done talking about this movie. But that's not what they did. Anyways, freaking Jamie Lee Curtis is like, all right, happy Halloween, Michael, and like kicks him down the steps or whatever.
Yeah.
And she locks him in there. She just turns the whole house into like a big.
She just blows the whole house up. And I love that shot of him just like he's in the cage and the whole house is just like burning down and they're just staring at each other.
He looks almost sad. I kind of almost felt bad for him, even though like he's a murderer.
I didn't see that. That was creepy as shit, and he should have burned in that house.
No, it was creepy. It was creepy, but I kind of felt sad. I was like, oh, he's dying. That's sad.
That's very concerning because he's a serial killer.
No, like he definitely deserved to die, but I also felt bad about it. Like, look at him.
I didn't at all.
He's helpless. And he's scared.
I mean, he is helpless, but he deserves to die.
Yeah. And what was up with that weird? Like they focused on it a lot of that knife and the granddaughter stabbing Michael Myers with the knife. Like they focused on that like it was like a big deal. Was there something I was missing with that, or I don't know.
He doesn't seem to be fazed by that.
No, but like they like made it like they like focused on the shot of her like grabbing the knife and like waiting, and she was like, and she stabbed him. And then they focused on it but then they focused on it on the end afterwards, like when like at the very end, like they like panned down to the knife and it was bloody, and like that's how the movie ended. I was like,
I don't think there's any significance to that. There might be.
I don't know. That's why I was like, am I missing?
They didn't really do anything with it anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, they leave the house burning at the end, and they're getting drove away or whatever. Yeah. And that's how the movie ends. And I'm like, I'm sitting there.
I think this would have been the perfect end to the entire franchise. That ending is so fucking cool. That whole third act is so fucking cool. End it.
Burning them alive.
Yeah. Well, that house. I took that house to be kind of, and maybe I just read into it too much. I took the house as being kind of a symbol of the franchise, and we're gonna burn it down. Like this is it. It's over. It's done. Everything that was built up, it's coming down. It's over.
I think you did read
No.
into it too much. But when
Obviously.
I watched it and I was like, okay, he can't be dead. That or there's somebody else that's going to take the place because I know there's a second one.
I think that would have been cool if like somebody else, if maybe Michael Myers like wasn't even Michael Myers. Like maybe he's just it's a bunch of different people. Like that could be kind of neat. He's the boogeyman. Like it could be anybody.
Well, I thought I might be stupid. I mean, no, I know I am.
Obviously.
I mean, that's what I was gonna say. I am stupid, but I thought at the end when they panned down to the knife, I was like, "Is the granddaughter going to become a murderer?" I was like,
that would be dumb.
That's what I thought.
That.
I was like, it did like this, like
Oh,
this
no.
was like her, like she stabbed, and she's like, I gotta stab again. Like I can't, I can't not stab.
She got the taste for it. She's like, I just can't. I have to do it now. It's just my thing now.
I gotta stab.
I think they did that in one of the sequels, but that's why the sequel's dumb.
I'm not saying that it would have been good. I'm just saying that, like in my mind, I was like, is that what they're setting up for? I was like, I don't know if that's what they're setting up for or not. Also, this is what I was referring to when I said I was going to come back to this. Once I like started burning the house down, I would have took pot shots to make sure. I'm like, he's dead. Like
just
I'm
like
not
shooting him like he's dead.
Like I'm not waiting to see if he burns alive. I'm shooting him in the head right now. And then I'm going to wait until the house burns down. And then I'm going to go get the body and chop it up. Just to be sure. Because I don't take no chances.
I mean, if you're going to search through all that rubble, I would just assume I shot him in the head and the building fell on him. He's dead.
Also, I didn't mention this earlier, but when they were all, the Judy Greer and Jamie Lee Curtis was in the basement. And like Michael Myers was walking in. He didn't know where they were. Why the hell did they take that shot from the basement and like give away their position? Like, what the fuck was that? Like she shot through she shot through the floor like on purpose. And I was like, what the? Why
did she?
Yeah, I was like, why would you do that? What are you doing? You gave away your position. Even though Michael Myers didn't do anything about it, like he went upstairs after that. So,
yeah, he's like, that was weird, and then just kept searching the house.
Yeah, like because like he went upstairs.
Right.
I think it was because he got his hand shot in the right before that, so I think he was like gonna wrap up his hand or something. But
maybe I don't think Michael Myers gives a shit enough to go like, oh, I gotta go find a Band-Aid. Like I think he's just gonna continue.
Maybe he
wasn't it wrapped up though? So maybe
it was wrapped up in the second one. So he had to have wrapped it up at some point.
That's a fair point. That's interesting.
I want to say it was when he was upstairs hiding behind the mannequin because you never see Michael Myers.
It's like, oh man, I gotta go to the bathroom. I hope they have alcohol so I can ease the pain. Like
maybe he thought he was gonna bleed out or something, so he's like, I gotta wrap it. I gotta wrap it up.
Maybe I'd like to imagine that Michael Myers doesn't give a fuck.
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe somebody else wrapped it up. I don't know.
And then he killed them.
Maybe. Anyways, that's how that movie ends. I really liked the 2018 one.
I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it. It's not a perfect movie. There's a lot of dumb shit in it. But I liked what they did with Jamie Lee Curtis because she wasn't really... I was like, oh, okay, this is just going to be Terminator 2. It's not really that because she isn't just Sarah Connor again. Like, she's fucked up. And you feel that. And I like the fact that they didn't just make it, oh, Michael's coming back to finish the job and whatever. Michael's just killing people. Like, Michael doesn't give a fuck. Like, he doesn't care.
I hope in the third one they don't spin it back around and be like, oh, he really was just after her. Like, no, don't do that.
I really hope there's no actual connection. Like, to her, and that's what I find fascinating is that she thinks there's a connection, but really there's not. And I thought that was kind of a neat way to play it.
So does the cop, though. The cop thinks there's a connection between him and Michael Myers, but again, there's not.
Well, yeah.
Because he says that in the second one.
Yeah, nobody knows what Michael's doing. And I like that. I prefer that. And I think, again, this would have been a dope ending. They just left it the fuck alone.
Did they intend to make a sequel when they made this? Or was this like...
I think they always intended it to be a trilogy.
I didn't know if they made this first one and then it did well. And they're like, oh, we should make a couple more. I didn't know.
No, because I remember after hearing... I mean, maybe they might have just did this and then it did well and they're like, hey, let's make two more. But I remember hearing, we're gonna do Halloween and Halloween Ends and stuff like that. And I think that was always
Yeah.
kind of in the plan, maybe.
We actually talked. This movie is new enough. We talked about it on our podcast before, where we were they're doing Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends like back to back or whatever. So,
Which, speaking of Halloween Kills, let's just jump right into that.
Let's jump right into this. All right,
I hate the title, by the way.
Yeah, the title doesn't make. I mean, it makes sense because there's a lot of murder in this, but
sure,
it also doesn't make sense.
Title.
I'm gonna go on a limb here, Wade. This might be the first time in a while we've disagreed, but I actually didn't mind this movie. Honestly,
see, this is one of those movies that like I don't like it. I don't care enough about it to like get angry that people like it. Like I don't really give a shit. Like
I'm not saying that it's like amazing, but I didn't think it was bad. Like that's how I feel about it.
I didn't necessarily. I don't think it's like a dog shit. Like this is the worst thing I've ever, like a worst movie of the year. I just felt it was kind of pointless. I was just like, all right, and it was kind of boring.
I agree with the
Jamie Lee
pointless.
Curtis is like sidelined a lot. She was the most interesting character from the last movie, and I don't care about any of these other characters.
She's just in the hospital the whole movie. Basically.
The whole fucking movie.
The whole movie. She's in the hospital.
And then the new characters they introduce, it's like we don't get enough time to like get to know them, and I don't care about them, and they're all stupid. They all make dumb fucking decisions.
My least favorite characters are Big John and Little John. I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? Like,
I liked what's his name, Little John, because that's Michael McDonald from Mad TV, and I love Mad TV, and he's funny.
I don't know.
That entire scene. Why did we devote so much screen time to them?
I don't know. I don't. For one, they've made one of the stupidest decisions I've ever seen in a horror movie. Like ever.
They hear a noise on their back door, right? Yeah. And then instead of leaving the fucking house, they decide to lock the door on the inside.
Yeah. And for one, also, I don't know which one it was. I think it was Big John. Big John. He had like a giant golf club.
Well, yeah, he had a golf club at first.
He had a golf club, and then he put it down and picked up like a little baby knife. And I was like, what about
cheese knife?
I was like, get the golf
seriously?
club.
Are you that like egotistical that you think you're gonna fuck someone up with a cheese knife?
Like, use the golf club. You have more.
Like at least Little John got the big like butcher knife.
Right.
At least he was like somewhat like, hey, this is gonna do some damage. You got a little like cheese knife that you used to just a little cut cheese with. You deserve to die. All right.
What are you gonna do? Even if you did stab somebody with that, that's not
gonna kill him. Do any damage.
Yeah.
you might cut him a little bit. Like that's not sharp enough to like go through anybody's body.
I was gonna say the only way you're gonna like even remotely maybe win with that is if you stab him in the eye, and that's it. That's like the only place you could stab somebody.
He's got one good eye. Figure it out. Figure out which one.
Also, at the very beginning of this movie, I think the shot of Michael coming out of the burning house is dope looking. It doesn't make any sense, but it is really cool.
And I think that this movie, one of the things I really don't like about it is they ruin the intro of the movie. The intro, for one, is very boring. And it didn't get me as hype as the 2018 one did, where it just ramps up and it's like, fuck, and everything's all crazy, whatever. And they had a perfect intro that they could have, like, it started the whole movie with. And they just decided, let's have all this let's have a weird flashback to Halloween 2, I think.
Yeah.
Like they used footage from Halloween 2, and like let's interwove it with new footage and stuff, which that was well done. I thought it flowed seamlessly, but this is unnecessary. This is a boring fucking intro.
That was relatively new. I don't think they didn't show that the one cop shot that other cop, right? Like they didn't show that in the original, right? That was new.
No, all that stuff was new.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
the stuff with Hawkins and everything. No, all that stuff was new.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, okay. Because
stuff with Loomis, that stuff was reused.
Yeah. I didn't think like that's what it was. Like when I remembered that movie, I was like, I don't remember that being in the movie, so I was just trying to be sure that it wasn't in there. But I do kind of like the aspect of Hawkins thinking that he kind of created Michael Myers. I was like
I get it. Like I understand that that's why the intro of the movie that way, to give him kind of a little bit of backstory. That could have just been said in one line.
It could.
We didn't have to spend 10, 15 minutes on it. You could have just said it. I was like, okay, we get it.
It could have. It very well could have. I do like that kind of play off that though. Like, oh, I created him because,
It's interesting.
Yeah.
He
But
feels
yeah,
responsible.
that if they would have just maybe flipped the scenes around and did the fire thing.
Yes.
First.
I think having it start with exactly where 2018 ended, with Lori and her daughter and her granddaughter in the car. She's like, "Let it burn, let the fucking thing burn," and then it cuts to the house, and then like Michael comes out and he's killing the firefighters or whatever, and then he steps out of the house, and then you see the firefighters like one of them's got a saw and like they got all these like weapons and stuff,
They got
and then
the axes and stuff. Yeah.
they should have like had Michael Myers like kind of walk towards them, and then boom, cut to credits, and don't show what happened. Because when we come back to that later, because we see the aftermath of what happened, I think that would have been far creepier and like he fucked them up. Like I think it would have been like we know some shit's gonna go down. We don't need to see it.
I did like the shot.
Intro.
I do like the shot of Michael Myers in the burning house behind him. That's
That
dope.
was cool.
I could make that my wallpaper. I feel like that could be a wallpaper type shot. But yeah, I don't even know how he doesn't burn. He's kind of like just in that little like closet thing, and the firefighter falls down.
He found a genius way. He was like hiding in like the gun, like safe or whatever that was in there, which I guess is fireproof. And he was just chilling. He was just hiding out there until somebody came. I guess
was his plan to just wait until it stopped burning, or like I don't know.
I don't know. I like to imagine it was.
Oh, like it's gonna
I'm just gonna sit here and see what happens.
I imagine it's like an oven in there because it's metal. I'm sure he's like cooking all.
Probably.
Anyway,
he's sweating his ass off.
Yeah, I like how the firefighter, like as soon as he sees him, he's like, "Oh shit!" Like he knows exactly.
Yeah, that firefighter knew it's over.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm done." And then I thought that they were going to show the one firefighter pull him up out of the hole, but they didn't. They I don't know what happened. I think he pulled him down into the hole.
Yeah, Michael pulled him down and like fucked him up.
I think it would have been cooler to have the firefighter pull him up and then realize, oh shit.
I mean, again, Michael Myers is like 800 pounds. How the fuck are you gonna lift him out of a burning boat with one hand?
Firefighters are pretty strong, man. They gotta carry a bunch of heavy equipment.
Sure.
I don't know. Where's he put all that weight? It's all in the butt.
In his legs.
It's all in his butt. It might be on his legs because he does some kicking. He does some kicking.
He does a lot of kicking.
I don't really remember what happens between that point and then when we go to Big John, Little John. I really don't.
I mean, it's not really. It's just, hey, Michael gets out and he starts killing people, and then there's a scene at a bar that was really cringy and awkward.
Yeah, they like try to tie in all the characters back into the story somehow.
Yeah, there were a couple of the original characters who were actually in the original movie.
Yeah,
who were kids. They're all grown up now. But what was weird? Yeah, Tommy. What was weird is that he was able to rally an entire town to go fight Michael Myers. But it's like, didn't everyone in Hatfield think Laurie was fucking crazy for thinking that Michael Myers was going to come back? How did they find out in 2 hours that he's back and he's just killing people?
I mean, the media is fast. Like if that actually happened in 2 hours, you would probably.
But did they? Is that how they found out?
They did show there was a thing on the news that they were saying like, oh, we don't know who killed him. It could be related to the Michael Myers escape from the bus thing.
That is a big leap in logic. If those people are just going to assume, oh, okay, that must mean Michael Myers is back and he's killing people. Like, you people are idiots.
I'm just saying.
I understand they were drunk. I understand some of them might have been drunk, but like that's dumb.
Also, my least favorite character in this entire movie is Tommy, and I'm sorry, but like I don't like Tommy.
He's not really a character. Like he's
not. But every time he's on the screen, I'm like, I don't like you. Like I don't like you. You're just annoying.
Yeah, he is kind of annoying.
Because like he's just like, I'm gonna go kill Michael with this bat, and I'm like, okay, you have fun.
You really think you're gonna fucking kill him with a baseball bat? Like, good luck.
Yeah, I was like, go have fun with that. Yeah, have a good time. Also, at that
bat's
bar
gonna
thing,
break immediately.
One hit and it's gonna snap, and then he's gonna murder you. But when they were at the bar thing and they were leaving, and they were like, "Oh, Michael Myers is in the back of that car or whatever," I was like, "He's not in that car. Because I
that
knew
whole subplot was very odd. Why did
that's how I
focus
knew
on
it
this
wasn't
random
Michael
guy?
Myers. Is when he turned the radio on. I'm like, he doesn't listen to music. Like,
That's fair, I guess. But like, why did we focus so much time on this random fucking guy?
Because we needed the fake out. That wasn't a fake out for the city or whatever. They're all in the hospital chasing that guy like a crazy mob.
But no, but there's people who see them and they go, "Hey, it's not Michael Myers." Everybody,
I know.
And then people are still running after this fucking guy. And also, when they do see him, he's not 4'8".
Right.
It's like, you really think Michael Myers is 4'8" doing all this shit?
Like when Tommy sees him and goes, "How do we know it's not Michael Myers? He's always wearing a mask." I'm like, this dude is like 5 feet tall.
He's Danny DeVito.
Right. He's like 5 feet tall. Like, you've seen Michael Myers. You know he's a ginormous person. Like,
yeah, like, again, this is just dumb people who are. This movie felt like a standard horror sequel where dumb characters doing dumb things, and they're only dumb so that we can have Michael. So we can root for Michael to kill all the dumb characters and just to show off cool kills. Like the first movie had at least a little bit of nuance. It was kind of a standard slasher movie, but at least had a little bit of depth in it with the Laurie stuff and kind of going into the lore a little bit more. This one's just, hey, let's just see Michael kill some people. And it's like, if you like that, cool. But it's like, after seeing the first one, it's like, I kind of wanted a little bit more.
Yeah. I really think that maybe they only planned to do maybe 2 movies, and they were like, all right, we got to do a trilogy though, so let's stretch out the second movie as much as we can. So
there's not much of a plot to this movie.
Yeah, that's why they added the 2 long subplots of Big John, Little John, and the non-Michael Myers crazy guy.
I guess, but it's like, you could have devoted that time to something else.
I'm just saying, they didn't.
You couldn't have thought of anything else. How about you take Laurie out of the fucking hospital?
Yeah, she got
and have
stabbed.
her go do some shit.
And we had quite a long scene of showing her getting surgery. I'm like, I get it. She's having surgery.
I get it. Yeah, she's fine. Get her ass out of the hospital. Have her go track down Michael.
Right.
But what is he doing? Because I understand she thinks he's dead, but there's a point where she finds out he's not dead, and then she literally
thinks he's dead for like 10 minutes, and then like Tommy runs in like 10 minutes later. He's like, he's not dead.
He's not dead.
And to be fair, she does try to leave. As Judy Greer's like, no, you got to stay. Stay right here.
But that doesn't make it. Judy Greer, I think, would go, all right, let's go fuck this motherfucker up. She was all gung ho about it in the first movie, and now she's like, no, you gotta stay because you're injured or whatever.
Everybody's cool with it except for Judy Greer, because the granddaughter's like, he killed Dad. We gotta go murder him.
I guess Judy Greer doesn't give a fuck about her husband then.
Probably not. I don't know.
She's like, all right, whatever.
I don't know. But I didn't like the whole town's after Michael. I'm like, this doesn't seem.
I get what they were trying to do. I get that they were trying to kind of flip the script and be like, oh, now the town's kind of the monster because they're taking this situation, they're going after him, and they're getting people killed while doing it. I get it. I got the point. They didn't do it right.
No,
and I didn't care.
Also, it doesn't feel like a Halloween movie when like everyone's after Michael Myers. Like that doesn't. I don't know why. They just. Like, I like the non-suspecting victims, not the we see Michael Myers, we got the bat, yet we still died from Michael Myers. Like that's how I feel. I don't know.
I mean that still kind of happens. There's one scene in this movie where a woman has a Desert Eagle. And for one, she's shooting from like 2 yards away for some reason. Get a little closer before you start shooting that, and she's just missing outright. Yeah. And then Michael, I forget what he does, but he somehow he like makes her like he throws some at her or something to make her shoot herself in the fucking face.
No, he's in the car and he kicks the door and the door hits the gun and it like flings back around. Yeah. And it shoots her in the head.
All right, these people deserve it. All right.
And what's even weirder is that like earlier in that scene, she's like, "I've shot a gun before. I know how to do it." It's like, oh, clearly you don't, because you're 2 feet away and you missed him 4 times, and then you shot yourself in the head. So
yeah.
But we didn't mention. I forgot. We didn't go back and mention when he like gets out of the burning house or whatever, and he goes to the next door neighbors who's got the drone. Well, I don't know why they got a drone, but they got a drone.
That was a weird scene, but I enjoyed it.
That was a weird scene, but they got a drone, And I don't know
what old grandma just flying a drone in her house. Like that's weird.
I don't know. Say people's got their things they like, man. I don't know, but
hey, I'm not judging.
Yeah, Michael Myers is just in the house. I don't know why he's there.
He is, and I like how when the drone goes off in that dark room, Michael just like chucks it back. He felt like angry. He was like, "What the fuck is this?" He just chucked it back.
He may not know what it was because he's been in a mental institution for 4 years.
That is a fair point. He's like, "What the fuck is this shit?" He just chucks it back.
Yeah, but he's very aggressive in those murders, like those two specifically.
I don't know why he's so aggressive. Maybe it's just because he like almost got burned alive and he's just pissed.
I think that's what it is. He's angry. Overboard. But like, yeah, he I don't know. He like smashes the old guy's head, and into the wall, and then and then the old lady grabs a big old knife, and he just cracks like a light, like a big long light.
He purposely like looks over at it's one of those like big like long like tube lights. He just like looks over at it, and he just yanks it out of the wall and smashes it like he's about to get in a bar fight.
Yeah, and then he just walks over and just like stabs her in the neck.
Yeah,
like she didn't even try to stab him. Like she just let it happen. I would have at least.
And then, he walked back over to the old guy, and he's just putting knives in him for some fucking reason.
Yeah, she puts like 8 knives in this dude's back.
Like Michael, I think he's dead. Like
again, I'm like, is he like mad or is he just like what is happening?
Know. And we won't know because he's wearing a fucking mask and we can't see his face. So like we don't know if he's mad.
I thought it was kind of funny, but I was just
it was funny just because of how like exaggerated it was. This is excessive and unnecessary.
The only thought I could think of is maybe because the woman wasn't dead yet. She was like dying. She was like bleeding out or whatever. He was thinking like, all right, let me put all these knives in his back so she can't grab it and stab me with it later. But I don't know. That's the only.
Why didn't he just grab a knife and kill her?
I don't. Maybe he likes to see her suffer. I don't know.
That's the only. Like Michael Myers.
That's the only logical thing I could think of.
That's not a Michael Myers. Michael Myers is the finish it type of guy.
I don't know.
It's not like, oh, I'm gonna watch me kill your loved ones. It's like, no, I'm just gonna kill you and everyone. Like that's Michael Myers. Michael Myers just kills people.
I'm just saying, if I was to get stabbed in the neck, I'd rather get stabbed with a knife than a busted old light bulb thing. I'm just saying.
That's gotta be rough.
Yeah, I'm sure a bunch of those broke in her neck, and she felt that. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we cut to Big John, Little John, and they're trying to scare the piss out of some kids.
Yeah, this whole scene is pointless. It's like, you know whose house this is? It's Michael Myers.
The only point of that scene is to establish that was Michael Myers' house. It's the only point of that scene.
But why did it have to be his house?
Because that's where he wants to go.
People anyway.
He wants to go home. That's the whole point.
Okay.
He wants to go home.
But he was killing random people throughout the entire movie. Why did he go to those old people's house?
Because he was angry and he needed a knife.
Okay, he can't be angry and go to Little John and Big John's house.
I don't know. He kills those kids.
It's weird that it had to be his fucking house for some weird reason.
He does kill those kids later on in the movie that were at the house.
He does, yeah. It's real fucked up.
Yeah, but yeah, when like two or three of the people from the other movies, and then the 2 doctor people, when they show up and they're like, "Get out of here, kids," or whatever. Yeah, they're all complete idiots. All of them.
Well, I mean, I like how those kids are just like goofing on Michael Myers. They're just like, "Oh, I think he's a pervert." He's just over there staring at us because that's how the kids would react.
That's how a kid would react. The kids aren't stupid because that's how a kid would react.
Yeah, that's how kids would act.
The adults in the car are stupid because they all have a gun and they all are terrible at their job. Why does Michael Myers get on top of the car for one? What's up with that?
I don't know.
What was he doing?
He didn't make a single dent on that car, though.
I know, but you see him like climb on top of
pounds, and he gets on top of the car. There's not a single dent.
Also, and then like as he's on top of the car, the chick, the nurse chick, she like jumps out of the window and she's got the gun and she runs away or something because like she's just gone for like 5 minutes in the scene. And I'm like, he's on the car, just get up and bop, bop, bop.
Shoot up,
like,
or like poke out the window and shoot his ass in the face.
But no, she jumps out of the window and like runs away, and then she comes back later, and that's when she gets shot.
I think she went to go get help or something.
But she had a gun. She had a gun.
Yeah, I know it doesn't make any sense, but I think that's what happened in that scene.
Shoot him.
I felt bad. She not only had a gun, she had the most powerful fucking pistol ever created.
Yeah. Yeah.
You shoot someone with a Desert Eagle, they're not getting back up.
And you missed 4 fucking times.
And you missed.
For one, don't give away your position by missing. Wait until he sees you or until you have good range. Because
get up close to him, tiptoe up to him while he's stabbing that other old lady or doing whatever. He was slamming her head into the wall or whatever, and then like sneak up on him, and then you get the jump on him, and then he'll turn around and be like, "What?" And then you shoot him in the brain, and then the movie's over.
I felt bad for the guy. Because he tries to strangle Michael Myers, and Michael Myers just like turns.
That guy was at least like trying to do something.
Yeah, but like he didn't think about like he's holding a knife in his hand. Like maybe you should take care of that before, because now both of your hands are being used to strangle. And he just stabs him in the face with the knife.
I mean, I think that guy maybe kind of knew he was gonna die, and he's just like, "Hey, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna go out like at least trying to do something."
Hey, I was gonna say he got pretty close. Like I don't know if he was actually choking him, but he attempted at least.
He at least did something, and he wasn't acting stupid.
That was kind of terrifying though when Michael Myers turned as he was choking him. Like I was like, Jesus.
He's like, you realize this ain't doing shit, right?
Jesus, man. And then like the boyfriend and the boyfriend's dad and the granddaughter are out like looking for Michael Myers or whatever, and they're the ones who realize like he's going home. He's gone a straight line path and where his murders are, or whatever.
Which is weird. Home. I don't like that. I don't like having Michael Myers have some kind of motive like for anything is a little odd. Like why?
Because he wants to go home. Wade.
Why? That's never explained.
He's a little kid who wants to go home.
What is that home?
I don't know.
And if he wanted to go home, why is he killing people? Why didn't he just go home?
Because he doesn't know that murder is wrong. But
why? Just go home.
Just go home.
Why is he so fucking aggressive? Just go home. If that's your goal, just go home.
But yeah, then we get to the dumb scene we already talked about, Big John, Little John with his little cheese knife and the big butcher knife.
It's almost laughably stupid.
It is. I was like, why did he drop? I said it out loud when I was watching. I was like, why did he drop the golf club? He had a golf club. I still don't think he would have lived, but I'm just saying.
He would have had a much better chance with that golf club. That was like a 6-iron.
Yeah.
Over a cheese knife.
Even if it was a dog, I'd be like, all right, I'm taking the fucking golf club. Like,
well, yeah, if it was a dog, yeah, you could fuck a dog up with a golf club. That dog, if he went up there and that was a dog and he went up there with that little ass cheese knife, that dog would have laughed at him.
But they attempted to be smart about it. They kept calling out to each other every time they were like walking over there, like Big John, and they were like Little John. Just so like they knew if somebody got killed, I guess they knew somebody was gonna die out of the two of them.
I don't know. Why do they refer to themselves as that?
Because I guess they're both named
John. Are they
John.
Both named John?
I don't know.
They're in a relationship? That's odd.
But yeah, Michael Myers kills both of them because surprise, surprise. You know, we didn't expect that.
And I think was it Little John? He goes like Michael, and then Michael Myers turned around. Instead of, I don't know, throwing a knife at him or stabbing him or something, he's just like, oh my god, and then he dies.
Yeah, I don't get these people with knives. Like, they just let themselves get stabbed. I'm like, stab him back.
At least try something.
Stab him back.
Standing there.
Like, even if you're gonna die, like, take him out with you. Like, stab him back. Yeah. In the face, in the neck. You're holding a knife.
Stab in his one good eye, and then he won't know where you're at. You'll be fine.
Right, exactly. I like how the dude like knew. He was like, "It's Michael. Like he's back."
Well, yeah.
You should have known. If you bought
Haddonfield.
I was gonna say you shouldn't have bought Michael Myers' house.
Yeah, why are they selling that fucking house?
They should have died there. Should have burned it down.
Should have just taped it off when nobody's in here.
But the dad, when the boyfriend's dad, and the boyfriend and the granddaughter when they show up, and the dad's like, "All right, you guys stay here. I'm going in with the gun or whatever."
I'm going in by myself.
Yeah, I'm going in by myself. I'm like, we got another idiot here. But as soon as he walks in, he shoots. And I'm like, Michael Myers,
like 2 seconds after he immediately gets murdered.
I was like, was Michael Myers like right at the door? Like, was he just standing at the door? Like,
he saw the pull up and was like, "I'm gonna get this motherfucker."
I'm not even gonna be sneaky about it. Like, I'm just gonna stand in right behind the door.
Yeah.
And just snap his.
He's got his knife. He's got his knife ready, and then he immediately walks to the door. And he stabs him.
And then the other two are like, "All right, well, I guess we should go in." It's like, maybe you should have went in together. Like,
yeah, they should have.
Like, let's not go in one at a time. And then when they get in there, they split up. It's like, what are you doing?
Again, this is what made it feel like a standard horror sequel. Just people being stupid, and it's like, all right.
But Michael Myers did put on music. He put the record on.
He likes music.
I don't remember.
But see, that doesn't make any sense when it's revealed later that Michael Myers wasn't the one in the car. Because like the scene was supposed to make you think that was Michael, and then he put on the music. But then Michael Myers does listen to music,
I guess.
But then why didn't they just make it him in the car?
Maybe he was just trying to hide his footsteps. I don't know. But yeah, the boyfriend dies, kind of gruesomely.
Very, very gruesome. It's almost excessive.
Yeah.
Like he gets like stabbed a couple times, and then Michael like pushes his head through like a banister. Then he like stabs head down on the banister and then like twists it, and it's like, Jesus Christ, Michael, you think he's dead?
Right, like there's a piece of wood he's like stabbing him on the floor with, and then he leaves him there. And as he's walking down the steps, he just turns and grabs his head and just twists it.
Yeah,
dead.
It's like, Jesus.
The granddaughter dies, or not dies, but she like screams after he twists the head. I'm like, no, he was dead. He was gonna die before that.
Yeah,
I was gonna say he's been stabbed and stuff. Like he wasn't gonna make it. But yeah, like everyone's just freaking dead at this point. So it's just the granddaughter, Judy Greer, the cop, and Jamie Lee Curtis. There's the only one.
Tommy Oliver or Tommy Doyle, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Tommy's still alive at this point. Yeah, that's right. But Judy Greer shows up, and I don't remember how, but she takes his masks. I don't know how.
Yeah, they devised this whole big plan to like lure him out.
Yeah,
and then like beat him to death, and then take his mask for some reason. Why is that a big deal?
No, she took his mask to lure him. Like she took the mask, and she's like, "You want it? You got to follow me."
Oh, because that lured him out of the house.
Yeah. I don't remember how she actually got the mask.
I don't care.
But yeah, that's how they got him out of the house. And then they just
beat him up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, instead of shooting him with like AKs or something, they just beat him with bats and stuff. I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah.
They beat him with bats, and they like stab him a couple times, and then one person stabs him in the back.
Yeah,
like,
that was Judy Greer. She stabbed him.
Yeah,
remember? And then as they're doing that, like Jamie Lee Curtis in the background is like just being like, "Oh, you can't kill him with brute force or whatever." And then he like does his ninja move. He like gets up.
Which how does she know that? Because in this universe, from what we know, just from the original and then Halloween 2018, they established in both movies that he's just a guy. So how the fuck does she know that? And
she was gonna kill him with fire. So
yeah. Like, you knew that, but then you thought burning your house down was going to kill him? Like, that's a little odd, but all right.
All right. Anyways. But he does his little ninja thing, and he beats up and kills, like, 20 people that are trying to beat him up.
Effortlessly. It's almost embarrassing.
Yeah.
You have an entire mob of people. And they're all running at him, like, one by one, and he's just got the little knife. He's just like... It's like, nobody has any, like... tactical weapons or like guns.
Nobody. I was gonna say nobody has a gun. Nobody has anything. Not two people don't want to run at the same time. He can't kill you both at the same time. He's got one knife. And then Judy Greer does the stupidest thing ever and stands in his spot. And apparently, if that means that if you stand in that spot, you're gonna die because that's
Michael's favorite spot.
Everybody that stood in that spot has died. At least the three people we saw that stood in that spot. We had the cop, the cop at the beginning. Yeah, the cop at the beginning stood in that spot, and he got shot by the other cop, by Hawkins. One of the Johns stood there, but they both died, and then Judy Greer died. I was kind of surprised that they killed Judy Greer at that point.
It was a little surprising, but at the same time, I don't really care about that character, so I wasn't like,
They-
oh no.
They might actually pull Hawkins and like, oh, she's not dead. She's bleeding out. She's not dead.
Maybe
And the third one.
It doesn't. I don't doubt it. That's a horror movie sequel thing to do. It wouldn't surprise me.
I don't know. I have no idea what the third one's going to be about. Probably everybody dies.
I think
Except the granddaughter.
they've been kind of teasing it as like, oh, this is gonna be like the epic, like this is gonna be like King Kong versus Godzilla, where it's like Laurie versus Michael, like mano a mano, and it's like, didn't we get that already?
In the first one.
Yeah, wasn't that what the fucking first
The
one was about?
2018 one.
So I guess we're just getting that again.
I don't know. My prediction: Jamie Lee Curtis dies. Maybe Hawkins dies. That's my prediction. I think the granddaughter lives.
I think Jamie's definitely dying for sure.
Yeah. Do you think it's gonna be like that thing of like, oh, they both live because the other one's alive, so they both have to die? You think that's what?
But see, I don't. That's again, that's the whole like, oh, there's this big epic connection between the two of them. I don't like that, and it was clearly established in Halloween 2018 there isn't. So like, if they do that, it's just like, when did this happen? Why is that happening? Like, that's just a lazy way out. Like, this is dumb. And that was kind of what they did in the original sequels, where it was like they did have this big connection, and it was because Laurie was still around, that Michael was still kind of doing his thing. So it's like, if they just do that again, it's like, all right, you're just doing what they already did. Like,
you did what the sequels did, and nobody liked the sequels. So
yeah.
But I still, even though it has a lot of bad things in it, I still don't mind this movie that much. Honestly, I don't think it's terrible.
That's fine. I mean, that's completely fair. I thought it was dumb and stupid. If 3 turns out great, then maybe this will be a necessary part of the whole thing. But as
like I said, this may have been, they had a story and they had to stretch it into 3 movies, and they're like, "Fuck, we only got 2 movies. We need to stretch out this middle one." That's why we had the 2 dumb subplots. We didn't even really talk about the subplot of the guy suiciding in the hospital, but jumped off the building.
That one. Yeah, again, we spend so much time focusing on
the penguin,
things we didn't need to focus on, and yeah, he does look very much like the penguin. Why didn't they just get Danny DeVito for that?
Honestly, they could have.
He ain't got nothing going on.
That's Halloween Kills for you right there. I don't have any fun trivia facts for you. Do you have any fun trivia facts about this movie?
No.
I do kind of want to see the third one though. I do want to see where it goes after this.
I'm interested in seeing the third one. I'm curious about it.
I am too. I didn't think when we talked about it on the podcast if I'd ever watch it, because I don't really care about the Halloween sequels that much. I only really liked the first one.
I don't really care about them either, because they're all.
But after the 2018 one, I'm like, all right, you got me hooked enough.
Yeah, the 2018 one was very good, and I'm disappointed that the second one couldn't live up to it.
But we will see with Halloween Ends. I guess it's still the same night. I'm assuming like it's gonna pick up right.
The longest night in human history.
It's been a 18-hour night, because you can't wait a year. But all right, we gotta do Halloween again next year.
It would be it'd be really funny if it was just like, oh, Halloween ended, and then Michael Myers just like disappeared, and he comes back next Halloween, and he just emerges from the bushes. He
gets like the Thanos snap. He like just floats away, and then
I imagine he's like a Terminator. He just like goes to like a garage somewhere and just like shuts down. He just waits for October 31st again.
But yeah, that's our review for Halloween Kills. Mm-hmm. I got no fun fact to end on, so I'm just gonna end on that. Boom.
What's our next movie?
I don't know. I feel like I picked the last 2 weeks. I feel like you get to pick. I picked The Thing and Halloween. So.
I really, since this one was a double feature, I want to do another double feature. And these are 2 movies that I can guarantee you haven't seen. I want to do the original Exorcist and The Exorcist 3.
No 2?
No, because it's the worst movie ever made.
Fair enough.
Just worse. 3.
Is that a remake that you want? Exorcist 2?
No. Don't touch it because it's boring.
But remaking it, you can make it interesting.
I don't know. I don't want any attention drawn to the sequel because it's bad.